Marriage is inherently between a man and a woman and is procreative. That's what it is. Gay activists are quick to point out that there are heterosexual couples that can't have children. And that's true. There are husbands and wives that cannot have children, as well as some that choose not to have children. But that doesn't disqualify the fact that marriage is by definition procreative. All human beings have two arms. But what if an individual is born with one arm, or loses an arm in a war or an automobile accident? Is he no longer a human being? Is he another species? Of course not. Losing an arm doesn't affect or change the nature of a person. Some heterosexual couples, because of some disability or defect, cannot have children. We refer to it as a defect or disability because we recognize that those people, like all men and women, have the potential to procreate. But through no fault of their own, they cannot. But again, their inability or desire to not have children doesn't change the nature of marriage. Some heterosexual couples cannot have children because of an accident of nature. Homosexuals cannot have children because of the result of nature. Well, what about gay couples adopting children? Surely adopting means gay couples can still fulfill the purpose and nature of marriage. Not true. Even if it were true that gay adoption is healthy for children, it would not make gay marriage legitimate. Studies firmly prove that gay parenting is not equal to heterosexual parenting. In fact, children of gay couples are more likely to grow up with emotional problems and other difficulties. It is a psychological fact that children benefit when there is a dad and a mom in the home. That children are better off with the input from a male and a female is indisputable. It's a scientific fact supported by tons of research and thousands of years of human experience. Sadly, there are children whose parents are dead or for some other reason are out of the picture. The child is waiting to be adopted. Let me tell you, the very best thing for the child is to be taken in by a new family where the father role can be fulfilled by a man and the mother role by a woman. That's the creative order. That's natural. That's what God intended. Allowing a same-sex couple to adopt a child is disordered and disorienting to a child. You see, the confusion is when a child, for example, doesn't have a mother. His or her father brings into the home another male to take the place of the female position. The more the female position is fulfilled by his father's male lover, the more confused the child will most likely be. That child will still have the need and desire for a female influence. If a child only had a single dad, at least no one would be telling him two dads are just as good as a dad and mom. But you see, children of gay couples are told that every day, whether overtly or by implication, that two dads or two moms are just as good. All children, at all times and everywhere, have an innate longing and desire to be connected with and raised by both a mother and father. As I said earlier, it's sad that some children don't have both parents. As a result of death, divorce, or abandonment, they live in a single-parent home. Now, that doesn't mean those children cannot have a happy and fulfilling life. What it means is a single-parent home is not the ideal situation. Two men or two women that adopt a child does not constitute a family. Children should not be thrown into the middle of a social experiment that fiddles and tinkers with the most basic characteristic of the family, a mother and father. If there is one thing children need more than anything else, It is the consistency and stability that a devoted father and mother can provide. A man and a woman, each one carrying out their role that the other cannot. Homosexuals say that being homosexual is not a choice or a decision that they made, which they say proves that it is natural, which proves allegedly gay marriage is natural. Even if a person is born a homosexual, which they are not, that's not relevant regarding the nature of marriage. As a child gradually grows, their sexuality develops. Now, the fact that they're born a male or a female plays a huge part of that. However, their development can also be influenced by the culture as well as the choices that they make. For example, a young boy exposed to pornography will predictably develop sexual urges that are different than a boy that isn't exposed to pornography. Now, that in no way means one's going to be gay and the other's not. It just means that they're going to be different. There are people that are sexually aroused by cartoon characters. It's called animesexual. Are we to believe they were born that way? Are we to believe choice had nothing to do with it? That God made them to experience sexual gratification from cartoon characters? Or could it be that they were exposed to images and made choices and participated in activities that solidified whatever attraction they practiced and indulged in? A child that is sexually overexposed and stimulated, even before they become sexually active, can become desensitized and bored with natural sexuality. And out of that boredom, they begin exploring all kinds of unnatural and perverse practices. And with the internet today, they go online and they find communities of people that share their perversion. That's how people become habituated to a particular fetish or practice. Being gay follows the same pattern. At a young age, certain urges develop. Choices are made to act on those urges. Eventually, the individual experiences not only sexual gratification in those urges, but an identity. Are we defined by our urges? Are we compelled to turn our urges and desires into lifestyles? We all have disturbing and sinful thoughts, feelings, and urges. The decision to indulge and act upon those thoughts and feelings is a decision that we ourselves make.